Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. Joining me today for this review is my good friend SC McPeter. Say hi.
Hello.
We are going to discuss the Rattled Rooster, released on the 26th of June 1948 with a blue ribbon reissue on the 22nd of October 1955. It's the 526th in the series and it's directed by Art Davis. And you can see this wonderful restoration on HBO Max with its original titles put back in because I can't show it on YouTube, otherwise the video gets blocked. And so I'll just quickly mention the synopsis and me and SC will get underway with our discussion. So a rooster is fed up that he can't seem to catch a break in catching a worm. So he does encounter one eventually, but as we all know in these things, the worm just messes up with the rooster and that's that. So, very few bits of trivia. Let's get into it. This was the last short written by Dave Monahan for Warner Brothers, and he'd been writing some shorts before, and including for Tex Avery earlier on. And after this, he would go on to work at Columbia's Screen Gems. In this restoration as well, you can also see in the background Dave's oats, and I do wonder if that is a reference to Dave Monahan or not, or it could be just some random thing. I don't know, but given what Freeze does on his films, it's no stretch to think that maybe they did it for Dave here. And here's one that was surprised SC that I went this far in researching about that French chicken.
Merci beaucoup.
I thought, hang on a moment, there must be something more to this, and from what I can see, there are breeds of French chicken out there that look very similar to this one here. I don't know if this is just coincidence that this was just happened to be a grey chicken and they just had a French-speaking chicken or not, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you think they would have gone this far knowing their breeds of chicken or not? I don't know. The worm, I will say, references Red Skelton, the whole, he don't know how clever I am, do he? Kind of thing. So, now, let me start by saying, this one, I've been told, is pretty bad, or at the very least, the worst Art Davis short. For me, I watched this one, I'm thinking, well, it's not that bad as people say it is. I got a kick out of a few scenes I'll mention shortly. Is it one of the worst Art Davis? I would say, yeah, ranks probably low. But, Essie, why do you think people don't like this cartoon as much as, say, the other Art Davis shorts?
Like I pointed out in Nothing But the Tooth, it's pretty talky in a lot of scenes, and I would also definitely say that Mel's voices are sort of similar to how Art Davis would have directed him at Screen Gems. It definitely does feel a little bit dry in terms of his range. There's a Columbia cartoon called The Way of All Pests where Mel doesn't sound like he has any direction at all. It doesn't get as bad as that one, but it certainly does start to remind you of that one a little.
Yeah.
I also do think that some of the gags, they don't have just like the big punch that other Davis shorts have. And usually Davis shorts tend to end pretty high. This one doesn't really, it just sort of ends.
Okay, yeah, I agree with the ending in that, but there are actually a few things to like about this particular short, in my opinion, and, and I like to try and focus on the positives. First of all, if you think this one's bad, you haven't seen a Buddy short. You clearly have not seen a Buddy short, okay? So come back to me once you see a few of those, and then you can tell me what you really think about Rattled Rooster. Although I do think it is definitely fair to say this is one of the lesser Art Davis shorts. But, okay, first of all, I love the opening. I think it's a nicely timed scene, personally. You like setting up the scene and the character we're going to be following who really wants his worm, following his motto, the early bird gets the worm. And, I thought that was pretty good.
Boy, that was a swell breakfast. Those worms sure hit the spot. Good. Bad. An honest citizen hasn't got a chance with those double-crossing crooks.
There was one scene in particular I liked, and it was the repeated gag. Now, you did point out something to me and you can mention that in a moment. But I like the fact that they did one gag, which I thought was funny, but then they repeated the gag as part of the gag. You had an issue, though, of the punchline, though, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just more excessive dialogue. I feel there was just no great punch. Usually you do get more of a gag out of it. I think if you had mentioned this to me, if they had done it a third time and just showed him in even more of a bad state, it might have been more funnier.
And have a big, even bigger punchline at the end. You know, kind of like a rule of three sort of thing. Like a cut that out and then do it again. But anyway,
I think this one might have worked better if it wasn't just a continuing narrative and more like blackout gags similar to a Roadrunner, because I do feel like that it just drags itself a little bit more in just that direction.
Snake, you know, I'm just a little worm, see?
We also get a little scene sung by the worm, which was, I'm forever blowing bubbles.
Blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air.
I felt that could have maybe been either cut out or trimmed or whatever. I do agree there. I guess they were trying to give some more character to the worm, but it didn't quite work there. But did you have any scenes that you did like in this one at all?
I really do think it is a good test for character animation. I like the scene of him just using the worm detector. I feel like that's well animated. I like the strange gag where just that one building, I forget what building it's referenced to, it's one in New York, I believe, where he learns that the worm has gone away. I've always just had an odd appreciation for that one. Like I said, I do like the opening as well. I do feel like that was well done, and that's about it.
Sure, because my good friend Fox in a Fix, I asked him the other day, why doesn't he like this one? And he says he actually hates the rattlesnake sequence at the end, and yeah, I kind of agree. It felt like they did kind of threw in another character just out of the blue. They didn't really set it up as well, perhaps.
Yeah, she just appears out of nowhere.
So maybe they could have set it up a bit better. But look, I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10 because of those few gags that did work for me. I might have done it lower if none of it worked or whatever. But what would you rank this one?
It still has the nice values of your typical Warner cartoon, and like I noted that the animation and of course the design work are pretty good in it, so I'm going to just give it a 5.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair enough. But look, we'll leave this one here. I know it's not as great as Bugs Bunny Rides Again or whatever, but we got to cover all of them, good, bad, and ugly. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Patty Freeling ones because it's going to be it's going to be interesting. But you know what? That's fine. Not all of them can be masterpieces. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
That's all, folks.